Hello.
Hi.
I'm Christine.
I'm Jamie.
We are here for the first episode of Daughter of No Worlds by Carissa Broadbent.
That was beautiful.
Thank you. I'm professional. Chapters 1 to 22. We're going to do this in 3 parts, baby.
Ooh. A lot happens, which I actually, like usual, forget and didn't realize so much of this happened in that first section.
I mean, you and I have different experiences.
Yes.
What is the full series called?
The War of Lost Hearts series.
The War of Lost Hearts series. I have not finished the series, so this is a first for us where we are finishing a series, or we are covering a series or a duology that I have not finished. Because usually both of us have finished it, and then we're like, hey, we love it. Let's reread it and talk about it.
Yes.
Now, I've read the first book fully. I haven't read the next 2. Because there's 3 books in the series.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a little bit different.
Exciting.
I've committed to it. I don't know what happens in book 2 and 3.
I also have to be really careful.
Jamie has finished all 3, so this is going to be a little bit different than what we usually do. But because I was just like, I don't want to reread it so close together, and you really wanted to do the series, so it was like, I read the first one. Yes, I know that I like it. I don't want to reread it so close, so I'm just going to leave it until we cover it.
Yeah.
And so now here we are at. We're going to be talking about stuff, and you're probably going to know stuff that I don't know. And you have to keep to yourself.
That's right.
Even though we are spoiler-free, we're not going to talk about anything beyond the chapters that we're covering.
Yeah. And we actually really won't be able to. Like,
you can't tell
watch myself.
Watch it.
Mm-hmm. I am just a very big Carissa Broadbent fan. I think in general.
She is such a, like, her writing is so easy.
Yes. And I think I have all her books and I've read all of them that I can. Yeah, it is just like so easy. I love it. And I think even initially kind of getting into the like fantasy romantasy genre and then kind of exploring other authors and other books, and kind of hers are always consistently, I know that I can read them and I'll be really happy.
Yes.
And then I'll have a good time. And then I'll love them.
I agree.
She's nice and safe, which I always love.
Like a really good safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where I can buy that book and
I know that I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah, and I will not be mad about buying it after.
Yeah, no, I trust her totally.
Yeah.
Well, we're here. We are starting a Daughter of No Worlds. We are on the journey, and that means we get to start with our first cocktail.
Yep.
And I got to do it.
And it's for one of my favorite book boyfriends.
Yes.
He's really up there.
Maxantaris. How do you say it? Maxantaris Farlione.
To really
gets his own sangria. And you know, if you've been a listener, I don't know how you know. No, if you know me, you know I'm a sangria gal.
You are.
I love me a sangria. Okay?
Yeah.
And so I was really purposeful in this. I was saving a sangria for something important, and I finally had something come up where I was like, it's sangria time.
Yeah. Max's garden,
sangria time.
Yeah. The heat.
Yes.
Couldn't be more perfect.
Yes. Yeah, and exactly. It's summertime. Summertime. Yeah. No, you don't drink sangria in the winter.
No.
Unless it's like a special winter sangria, but that's
still not the same.
So I did, to honor Max and his garden and his cottage, we did a herbaceous apricot sangria.
It's a great word.
Herbaceous.
Yeah. I love it.
So I made a thyme, rosemary, sage simple syrup. I did for our, because a sangria always needs some fresh fruit and such. We did limes and apricots and plums. And then for liquor, we did apricot liqueur, dry vermouth, and white wine. We did a Sauvignon Blanc. And we did some club soda. And I did some lime juice.
Yes.
Fresh lime
Yeah.
juice too.
You loved it.
this so much. I am like an herb person. Like when summer comes and I actually get to have my garden and to like cook with it and stuff.
Yeah.
So like to put it in a cocktail where it's like herbaceous and also like apricot liqueur is so good. And I love wine. It's just like, it's such a good combination. I just
Loved everything.
I just want to have a bath in it.
You really were trying to stick that rosemary tree in that drink too.
Well, I love a rosemary tree.
I do. Herbs are just, they smell so good.
Mm-hmm.
I think like rosemary, even thyme you were putting in there.
Mm-hmm.
Thyme is one of my favorites. It can change a drink. I love it. They really make such a difference. So
yeah, so I'd recommend this one if you wanna get a little cookie and make a herbaceous apricot sangria with your friends.
And you even made little rose
ice
cubes, and they were what was in it? I didn't even ask that.
My first intention was to do just some red food coloring in the ice cube trays, because I had rose ice cube trays, so rose molds. So cute. And then I realized at the last second I didn't have the red food coloring, so I had to like crush some raspberries I had in my fridge, and I just put them in some water. Like I heated them in some water to stain the water pink.
Oh my god,
Jamie, I try so hard. Okay,
you had 2 drinks this week. At the level you went to.
I know, it's so sad. It's like, you should get some friends or something.
I need to like try hard just for 1 drink.
Yeah, Jamie. Step it up.
No kidding. Put the pressure on.
Rose ice cubes. So, I think Max would like it.
I think you would.
Okay, do you want to talk about the book?
Yeah.
Okay.
Get right to it.
A former slave fighting for justice, a reclusive warrior who no longer believes it exists, and a dark magic that will entangle their fates.
Ripped from a forgotten homeland as a child, Tissanah learned how to survive with nothing but a sharp wit and a touch of magic. But the night she tries to buy her freedom, she barely escapes with her life.
Desperate to save the best friend she left behind, Tissanah journeys to the Orders, the most powerful organizations of magic wielders in the world. But to join their ranks, she must complete an apprenticeship with Maxantaris Farlione, a handsome and reclusive fire wielder who despises the Orders.
The Order's intentions are cryptic, and Tissanah must prove herself under the threat of looming war. But even more dangerous are her growing feelings for Maxantaris. The bloody past he wants to forget may be the key to her future, or the downfall of them both.
But Tissanah will stop at nothing to save those she abandoned. Even if it means gambling in the Order's deadly games. Even if it means sacrificing her heart.
Even if it means wielding death itself.
Okay, let's start. We get the prologue.
Mm-hmm.
We get the little, like, cryptic story. We do get Nura. We get Nira in that story, so we know that she's there.
Yes.
She's forcing herself into the mind of someone, and it's a time of war, so we get, like, a little snippet of that.
Yeah.
A little flashback. And then we get the intro to Tissanah as a little girl. Slavers come, take her village, her people, so they're basically, it's like a death sentence that they bring, because they're going to bring her people to the mines.
Yeah.
And work them until death. And so she's like, she offers herself
away.
up.
She's like, take me, I'm worth more.
But it's like a survival thing, right? Because she knows if she goes with her family, she's dead. So she's like fighting for her life, but it also feels a bit selfish. But then we get this nice moment. But she thinks her mother's
also going to come with her.
Right, yes.
So she does, I think that she's helping both of them. But it turns out, obviously, like her mother can't come with her, which is sad.
So she kind of like saves herself.
Yeah. And her mother does say that kind of like, you have all the tools, use them. I think what she says to her is very, I don't know if I would be able to say that in that situation.
No, her mom was
Like tough, like to be like, no, okay, you're going to go do whatever you have to do. Like just survive.
Just survive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she said her mom gave her permission to do whatever it took to survive without apology, without regret. She would do absolutely anything except cry. Okay. Well.
Well, I get like you don't want, like, cry when you're alone.
Yeah, like, no, you can cry.
But I get like, yeah, you don't want to give the people that are taking you that.
No. Yeah, you're not doing anything wrong by trying to survive.
Yeah.
We do get the intro to Tissanah's description.
Yes.
So she is part of the Voltaine, so all of her and her family and community or whatever are like albino skin and hair and everything, but Tissanah is a little bit different. So she has like fragmented skin where she has the darker skin peeking through. She has eyes that are two different colors. So she is distinct in that way, right?
Which ends up being, I feel like, such like a focus almost from people.
Yeah, as the story goes on, for sure. So we start the book with Tissanah in present day, and she's still enslaved, right? But we get this scene of her dancing, and she's like, you know, I imagine in my mind she's like this beautiful, like fluid dancer, and then she has the her butterfly magic.
It just sounds so pretty.
Uses. Yeah.
I picture her like a belly dancer almost.
Yes.
Like
yeah, that's what I mean about like the fluid movements and like it sounds beautiful. I was gonna ask you, I forgot about she dances but she counts, but she doesn't listen to the music. What was that about again?
I think it's just such like an automatic thing for her that's just like she's just constantly counting and like needs to stay. I don't think she actually is a good dancer. She just has to stay to like the counts or something. I don't really know the correct answer.
Anyway, she uses this and she uses her ability to read other people.
Yes.
So I guess like that's how we learn over time too, like the Voltaine, that's like one of their...
That they can get into people's minds and...
Yeah, so she uses that and she gets her tips, baby. I'm gonna stop saying that.
Get her tips, baby, or what?
Baby. I don't know. I feel like I've said that too many times today. But she's saving up to pay her slaver Asmaras so she could be free.
Yes. When she first arrived, she kind of like made a deal with him, being like, oh...
Yeah, if I save up, you'll let me go, right? And he's like, yeah, for sure. Wink.
This much money. You get that and I'll let you go, sweetheart.
Totally. Yeah, do it. I dare you. Now, of course, the relationship, it's complicated. She's got the Stockholm Syndrome.
Yeah.
Right? Which, like, is such a common response to this sort of situation where you're just trying to survive and you're, like, seeing this person's kindness.
Well, yeah, like it's...
Yeah.
So kind of just... Okay, so when the things happen with him, she does, like, just what you were saying. This was the man who gave me so many scars, who took away my freedom, who crushed me and bent me and beat me. But he was also the man who remembered my favorite color, who once stayed up with me for hours after a bad nightmare, who had smiled down at me with an odd sort of pride the day I had demanded my freedom from him. Which I really just think perfectly describes kind of that relationship and what you were saying, which makes it, it's a confusing...
Where the kindness stands out, right? And it kind of like, quote unquote, makes up for those really bad moments.
Yeah, because you made me feel so good in these other moments and safe in these other moments.
Which is like such a survival tactic of like, if I just focus on these kind moments, that'll lessen the heaviness of what the reality is, which is like, I'm a captive and I'm a slave. Yeah.
This isn't an actual relationship or anything.
If I believe in like, this is a real thing, that feels a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so she has to like really come to terms with that over the course of the book. We also get to meet her BFF.
Oh my god, I love him.
He's the best.
Right? He is such a good friend.
I've listened to the audiobook like a couple times, and the second time, yes, in a like not completely, but like I should know how to pronounce everything by now.
Cyril?
Cyril?
Oh, maybe it's Cyril? I say Cyril. When I'm reading it, I say Cyril.
Okay,
I know she has, because there's a couple, this whole series, there's a few times this happens where I remember I had to go to Carissa's Instagram, and it's like an old story, because this is, I think, like one of her first series.
Yeah.
Where she goes through to how to pronounce certain ones because I got to a point where there was too many and I was like, I need to know. It's going to bug me.
Cyril sounds right.
I was like, I like Cyril. That's how I'm
And
saying
if
it.
it's not, we'll fix it later. He's a hot gay man who's also a slave, and he's also, like a guard / soldier for Ismaris,
Yes.
right?
And she had picked him out.
She picked him out. I love that part of the story.
I believe that she is with Ismaris and they're going through and she sees him being really kind and smiling to someone. And I believe there's, something about it where she kind of says something so that he will
take him on.
Take him on so that it's not as bad of a job as that he would have had.
Right.
Type of thing. And I think she had to give Ismaris kind of something later for that, just to get him. But she's like, I've never kind of regretted it. Like they're each other's safety type of thing.
Exactly. That's how you get by too. You find a best friend.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, her killing Ismaris.
I loved it.
You loved it?
I hated it for the first portion because she does try and buy her freedom and then she quickly realizes that no, that was never an actual choice. And then he gets angry and so he's whipping her and then finally I love that she does look at him and she's like, if you want to murder me, you're going to look me in the eyes as you do it. And in her mind, she's also saying, look at me, look at me. And then she ends up killing him without realizing it.
Yeah.
So she's like, oh, I got more power than I realized. And then panics.
Yeah, much more powerful. She realizes her ability.
It's a fun way to find out.
So fun. Accidental murder. She also struggles with the guilt throughout this, which is like... It's complicated, right? With like, we just talked about like the Stockholm stuff.
Yeah, the same thing.
Like kind of the same thing where it's like guilt, but it's like you're not supposed to be feeling guilt, but you do feel guilt, but it's like, yeah.
Which I think, eventually we do get to stuff later on where they talk about it more.
Yeah. I'm glad she did that though.
Yes.
Cyril helps her escape.
And he stays.
But he stays. It's a super sad moment.
Yeah, he gets her on a horse, lets her go. That horse then hurts itself and she has to kill it and then eat it. Which I was like, oh, that's fun.
Why not?
Right? I was reading it. I was like, obviously I wouldn't remember that part. It was like a little thing. Yeah. I was like, oh, I
don't remember that at all.
What a random thing. But yeah, because the horse, something happens to the horse where it gets hurt. So she has to put it out of its misery and then eats it.
Mm.
So I think that does explain how she makes it through the rest of the journey.
She eats the horse. Okay.
She had some things to survive with.
Okay. She knows what she's doing. Would you be able to do that, Jamie?
No, absolutely not.
No.
I would just die.
This is the theme of any of the books that we've ever covered. It's just like, no, I would die in the desert.
Yeah. I would not be. I would know the
curl
first
up
thing.
into a ball.
I wouldn't even be able to light the fire.
Yeah.
So many steps, I wouldn't know what to do.
I don't know the basics.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've always said I could never go on Survivor. I would do so badly. Like, I know people where I'm like, oh, I think you would be good. I would, no.
Who said that?
What?
Someone said that?
What?
That you'd be good on Survivor?
No.
Oh.
I've told people that I think they would be good. But, like, I know that I wouldn't be. Like,
yeah, no.
I've seen, like, on previous episodes where people are the first couple nights, and they're like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
Like, there was
and you relate.
And I was like, yeah, that would be me. I would get out there and be like, what did I do? This was an awful choice.
It's a bad idea, you guys.
Yeah. Send me home. Everyone's going to hate me and I'll be okay with it.
Even though this was a year process. Okay, Tissanah and the orders. It's really throwing me off. The orders.
Why?
Because I think of Order of the Phoenix.
Oh.
And so it's like, every time she says the orders, I'm like, I feel like it's like she misspoke. You know, it should be like the order. She's saying the orders.
It's a you issue.
It's a me issue for sure. Yeah, no, I wrote several emails to Carissa Broadbent.
Okay, so she gets in. She also has a repetitive statement that she keeps saying on her whole journey, so that when she arrives, she's let in, and she arrives on her deathbed, and she wakes up, and I just think she's handed like clothing to wear. It's like 3 layers of straight loose cotton, dusty blue like curtains with billowing sleeves that hit to the elbow. My nose wrinkled. Was this what Aran women wore? Did they like to pretend they didn't have waists, or well, I wasn't here to be beautiful. I just enjoyed that because I feel like it's such like a her thing to say. But it also sounds like a really comfy dress to be wearing.
Yeah, it sounds like a dress that I would love.
Yeah.
Tissanah.
Yeah. Oh no, that sounds great.
Yeah, but I agree. That's like, it seems like part of her personality is just very like, just observing things and just saying them, and refreshing.
Yeah, so it's a great, like, okay, I see where this is going, and I love it.
Okay. Yeah, and then we just get, like, especially, like, I read the book the first time.
Mm-hmm.
The second time I read it, it was audio. And so you were asking me too, like, you asked me if I read it with her with an accent.
Yes.
And so when I read it, no.
No?
And I said I had tried to read it with an accent.
I tried not to, but it just kept happening.
And then maybe it was in conversation with you. I don't know why. But it just like, I couldn't imagine her with an accent. But then you read the audiobook, and once she gets to Ara,
Mm-hmm.
the audiobook person like switches to a
An accent, because now she's in somewhere where she would have
more
an
like
accent.
Eastern Europe accent.
Oh, I want to know what it was. Like,
Even though the first part of the book you don't get that, but it's like once she moves to this new part of the,
yeah,
like wherever they are, it's different. But it is, I think, an important part of the story, right? Is like her not being able to communicate there, and
yes, that's one of the things that I did love about the story was that
it was different for sure.
That she did have this communication
Barrier.
issue, but like barrier. I feel like that made it so much more interesting and what she was still able to do. Just there's so many things that I liked about it. But I continuously heard her with like a Russian accent and like almost like a Russian European.
Eastern Europe, yeah, that
right?
And that's what the audiobook, that's what it sounded like to me.
Yeah.
In the audiobook, the actor did.
Okay.
Now we don't know if that's correct. I don't know. Is that what Carissa Broadbent meant, or like could it be
maybe
any
it must,
accent?
like how she writes it? Maybe it kind of sounds like that. Well, I need to hit a part where she actually does it. Do we eat Nira or Nira?
It's so weird to say it out loud, even though I've listened to that.
Nira.
Yeah, Nira.
She immediately comes off rude, but that's fine.
For sure.
She says, that's a tall commitment from someone fragmented, but I can appreciate the sentiment.
Yeah, she's rooty-tooty, for sure. The thing is, too, like, Tissanah, like, why do they need to help Tissanah? That's the thing, like, when she finally gets what she wants, and she lands at the order, and they're helping her heal, it's like, why are they helping her? Just like this random lady lands,
But she's
like,
she's Veltane.
Yeah. But still, like, you don't need to help her.
But, I mean, as a human.
But why?
I feel like it's like going to a hospital and being like, no, there's the only people there that can heal her. So someone shows up and you're
but
just...
But they're kind of like, there is this, like, point where they're like, why are they, they're helping her heal, and then Tissanah's like, oh, I want to train, and they're just like, oh, okay. They're, like, moving mountains to get her to train and then forcing Max to do it. So I'm just saying, like, at this point in the book, you're like,
Yes, at this point, I think you are questioning that, but I think there is reasons.
Not good enough reasons yet to explain that.
No.
There's enough reasons where Tissanah goes, okay, I'll go with this. And that Max is like, okay.
Yeah.
There's not good enough reasons to really explain it, because they don't have to do any of that.
Oh, are you saying like Tissanah should be like questioning it more?
I'm just saying as a reader.
Oh, okay.
I think Tissanah is questioning it a little bit. I think Max is questioning it a little bit, but there's enough there that they are accepting it. But as a reader, I'm just saying, I'm going like, why are they helping her so much?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I think there's also like, you see, like there's a few mentions of like when they're taking like her blood.
They keep taking her blood.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that about?
Yeah.
What's up, people?
They're just like, oh, don't worry about it. We're just doing okay.
Okay, can we go to Maxantaris Farlione?
Oh, I do like how prepared like she is, and how like in a plan she is. It's impressive. Like when they're even like, what kind of help do you want? And right away she's like, send a small group of wielders to Thrall with me, I didn't hesitate. I had thought this through many times that she's just like, no, this is what I want. And she continues to be like that. I just really love her. And I will say that multiple times. Okay.
She's eager. She's eager little bunny rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
So we finally meet Max. Maxantaris Farlione. He is a retired 27-year-old.
Okay, but I need to say the first part. He's a retired 27-year-old.
Gardens and lives in a cottage and drinks wine. Sign me up.
Oh, he sounds so great. I do want to read the part, the garden part. Nura and I stood in one of the largest gardens I had ever seen. It sprawled in all directions, flowers and greenery consuming every inch of earth. Nestled in the middle of it all was a little stone cabin. And there, crouched among wild white rose bushes, was a man who stood to meet us, sharp-featured, pinched beneath the shadow of tousled? Black hair. I am in love. The book over. That was my comment. Yep. It was just what a great intro.
Yeah.
You know, like if I want an intro, that would be it.
I agree.
Now,
the one thing that brings this down is the clothing description.
Oh, but then he is rude.
I'll take his rudeness. You know what I'll throw in the garbage, though? His purple silk jacket.
No, I totally flew over that.
I
was like, I don't even know what to say.
But this brings me to a point that I want to ask to talk to you about, which was the clothing descriptions in this book. Mm-hmm. I loved this book. The one and only criticism is the descriptions are insufficient or not great in terms of aesthetic. I felt like a lot of times I'm like, I don't know what Tissanah's wearing. I don't know how to imagine like what she's putting on. What's like there wasn't enough for me.
Yeah.
And then Max and like the purple, I was like, well, that doesn't make sense to me. I
completely flew over that.
Even rereading the intro with Asmaris and like he has like a ponytail. I'm like, no, what are you talking about? He has a ponytail?
I could see the ponytail.
There was random descriptions, but it didn't feel cohesive and it wasn't enough. Like I felt like I had to make up my own descriptions in terms of like what era of clothing and style are we talking about? I was like, is this futuristic? Is this like but like I because we get a lot of like Nura's description.
Yes, I feel like
so
that's
it's like
really
some
clear.
people we get a lot, some people we get little, and it doesn't feel cohesive to me. And so I was confused and had to make it up myself, which fine, I'll do it. I have the ability, but that was just like I had to, especially the purple jacket comment, I had to throw that out the window.
Yeah, I bet.
Carissa, no. We're not doing the purple jacket. There's no way he is wearing a purple.
I don't even think I thought of him with any clothing on top, to be honest.
The Maxantaris Farlione of our mind is not wearing a purple silk jacket.
No, absolutely
I'm sorry.
not. He's not.
And Carissa's might be, but mine is not.
Well, no. You get really sweaty.
It's silly.
Yeah.
It's silly.
But no, you're right. I never really realized it as much, but yeah. But Nura is always very descriptive.
Yes. We know what she looks like.
Yeah.
She's basically the only one.
I feel like she describes people what they look like. Like Max, I just kind of read. I think she does describe like feature-ish, so you can kind of envision. But clothing-ish, no.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, they continue on into the cottage, and it's filled with clutter, and he loves wine.
Oh, this would be a good Tissanah quote. Thank you, Max and Ter E-S. I was very proud of myself for correctly stringing together all those syllables out loud. He rolled his eyes as he stepped aside, holding the door open for me.
Max, please. Otherwise, we'd spend half our damn lives saying that ridiculous name. It's very true. I love it. Mm-hmm. Oh, I also do love when she cuts her hair. I was a big fan of that.
Max is like, don't cut your hair. You won't be able to pull it back. But it's like, it's a way bigger, deeper meaning.
Yes.
That was where Asmaris like pulled at her hair, and so it was like kind of like chopping it off and throwing it in the fire was like so symbolic for her, and just like felt way better. And she's like, it's good this way.
That was good. I also think just after like anything, you're like, I just want to like cut it off. And I know in a lot of different like cultures
so
it is a
good.
big thing to like do that with like hair and things.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just in general, I feel like when there's like life changes and you're just like, get it off of me, that old hair. With old memories. Ugh, love it. Maricel we meet. She's just an odd character and I love her. Because she used to be a hummingbird.
I don't remember I feel like in the rest of the book, maybe we get more of the story?
Not really. I don't think we do.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We don't really need to talk about her, but I do love her at the same time.
Okay, what about Samarin?
I see Samarin.
Samarin.
Is it Samarin or Samarin?
I know, I'm so embarrassed that I can't remember how all of these names are actually pronounced.
I just feel like he's such like a lover boy and I love him.
His voice is low and smooth, deep but inviting and gentle.
Right?
I love when boys are best friends in a like in a healthy way.
Mm-hmm.
In a non-toxic way.
Yeah.
So cute.
Yeah.
They seem like a ride or die, like Samarin's just like taking Max's shit, just like I believe in you.
Yeah.
But it's all energy, it's all vibes. He's not saying those words.
Yes.
But you get that energy.
Yes. I also liked when they were talking. It had oh my god, where is it? Here we go. So every single word in that small sentence was emphasized in a different way, communicating a different meaning. She's your apprentice. Translation. She's a Valtane and a fragmented one for good measure. She's your apprentice. Translation. She's way too old for this. And again, translation. They got you to take an apprentice. It was oddly comforting the way these things transcended language, which I did think was interesting.
Oh, I loved that.
Right? How you could, and that is, I feel like, so true.
Yes.
That even you can say things without actually saying something.
You're getting what it implies.
What the actual conversation is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just really, enjoy that she could still understand that by just his 3 words that he was saying.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, it's just, and then I could hear those little nuances in Aaron as I did in the Rennie. Samarin, he has an apprentice and his name's Moth.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just a huge fan of that name. It's so random.
Moth, I like that too.
Yeah.
Oh, I have the quote that you like. At least I was doing something, unlike Max, who seemed fairly committed to doing absolutely nothing ever. On a particularly cold day, he stepped outside, shivered, looked up at the sky, and declared, "I'm not made for this." Before wandering back into the house, I quickly learned that Max was apparently only made for an exceptionally narrow set of environments, temperatures, activities, and interactions. Same.
Right? I was like, that is... Yes.
Yes.
Just yes to
same,
all of
Max,
that.
Same. Relatable. Hashtag relatable.
Yeah. Like, we can get married, we can be best friends, whatever you need, whatever you want.
Anything.
I love that we are on the same page.
Yeah. Let's raise a baby together. I don't know. Whatever. Anything.
Anything you want, babies.
Let's get a gerbil.
Oh, it's an interesting pet choice.
I don't want a gerbil.
Oh. Okay, he is also so infuriating though. She's just like doing, I couldn't imagine just watching this like woman like try and like work and like figure it out. You know, there is a language barrier, so she can't actually understand everything that she's reading, and she's still constantly trying, like working herself day in and day out. I'm like, well, nice if you'd at least cook for her, but it's like I understand it once we get there, but you get kind of mad. And then
for her, she's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
She has this big angry outburst.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, I wanted to scream at him. I wanted to ask, who has ruined you so badly that you can't do anything but stand in the way of people who have actually important things to do? Why do you feel such a pervasive, petty need to shove your petulance in the order's faces? And why the hell do you need to bring me down with you too? Instead, the Aaron words that came out sounded something like, what so many hates do you have?
Huh?
His confusion, understandable as it was, infuriated me. I let the pen drop violently to the ground. I hammered every Aaron word home slowly. Why do you hate the orders? Why do you hate me so many? What is wrong with you?
I don't hate you.
which made me even angrier. This is not true. I shook my head. This is not true. I don't care if you hate me. Hate me here. I touched my hand to my heart. It was the only way I could think to convey what I was saying. Or here. I pressed my fingers against my temple. But you hate me and what you do. Why? What wrong did I do to you?
It's not about you.
Something shifted, softened in Max's expression, but I was past looking for scraps of kindness.
That's right. I like that she calls him out.
Oh, I loved it so much.
Which I understand she pretty much reached her breaking point.
She did. Like, she was at a Minty B.
Why are you questioning me?
She was a Minty B. Yeah. This is it. She's tired. She hasn't slept. She's learning 24/7.
There was just one kind of, I don't even know what it was for, but I just really enjoyed it. It does say, all of the people who my entire life had used me as a part of their stories had assumed that I was a set piece in their lives. And I just really, really love that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I'm just not like the accessory or the thing that you move around to get to a certain point.
I'm a human being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just like that. And when I loved when they started making flowers, that was really cute. So they do start working together. And I loved it. And they start making flowers together. And I think it's just a fun part. And he's kind of says like good luck to her. And she smiles. And she says, I do this so I don't need luck. Right. I do this so I don't need luck. And he responds, I can't decide if that response is charming or terrifying. I think it's also a great description of her.
Yeah, exactly. We start to get more information about Max. So we get the situation where they finally go out into the world. And then we get the situation with Queen Cesare. And she, you know, is pulling out her power. And she kills someone. But then she recognizes, you know, there's Maxantaris Farlione. Maxantaris Farlione! You know, into the crowd. Because he's recognized. And so we learn that he's someone important, right? We don't know all that information yet.
But I want to say other things.
What?
Before that.
Like, the what?
Samarin comes back. And I just found this part interesting.
To the cabin?
And he notices that Max has decided to, like, take her on. And he kind of says it's, like, a great deal, like, to convince him to do something. But when he does it, like, he really does it and kind of points to the garden. And she's like, oh, like, he made that whole thing and planted every single flower. It was obsessive, but he does nothing halfway. So I'm like, they both kind of had that thing about, like, where they're just like, okay, we're going to do it. We're going to just do it full on, which I find interesting because it's not usual.
No, if I knew that couple, I would be, like, backing away.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'll be in the garden.
I'll be out in the garden with my sangria. You guys work on that.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I found that interesting. I was like, oh, they both have, like, a crazy drive.
Yeah.
And there was just also another part.
Find someone who has your crazy.
You stick with it.
Your type of crazy.
Stay away from us. If it's that kind of crazy.
Fuck up.
I just enjoyed my also other part before we get to the drama. He stood there leaning against the frame, patting hair that stuck up the back of his head, crumpled linen pants rested low on his hips, and he was shirtless, lean muscles shifting across his stomach and chest as he yawned. He looked different than I would have expected, considering that his main hobbies appeared to be drinking and enthusiastically doing nothing. That must be nice. Like, I also really enjoy the thought of this vision, but also, like, that must be so nice for you.
Yeah. That's great, Max.
Right?
What about high-waisted, though? Like, I feel like all the descriptions are, like, low-waisted.
Oh, did it say high-waisted?
No. It said like, it was, like, low on his hips.
Rested low on his hips, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm just like, what about... I feel like that's, like, a common description.
Yes.
Like, let's give a shout-out to the higher-waisted pant men.
Oh!
Why isn't that cute, too?
Yeah.
Why isn't that hot?
No, it is.
Okay.
It's okay. That is also cute.
All pant heights accepted here.
I love a high-waisted pant.
Okay, now we get to the drama.
No.
There's some nods to war stuff that we get throughout this first part.
Yeah.
And then we come to this big, like they go out into the world, right? Tissanah and Max, finally.
I feel like it's like almost a first date. A little bit.
It feels a little bit like their first adventure. Like,
Yeah, they're like arm in arm.
Yeah.
And she said, if I become lost, I will never be found again. And that's so cute. Can I continue?
No.
So okay. They're walking through. She says, if I become lost, I will never be found again. To my disappointment, that startled expression melted away as quickly as it had appeared. He merely narrowed his eyes and said, sometimes you're unintentionally poetic. Nothing unintentional, I replied coolly. They're so cute. And she is poetic, and I love it. This is all I care about.
I don't believe her, though. I feel like that wasn't intentional.
Well, she said she replied coolly, so like she's like, no.
Yeah.
He thinks I'm so cute. Oh, when she asked the man if the bird, did she match the coat to the bird or the bird to the coat?
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. Like, I love it so much, and I love that she actually went and asked. What a good question.
Great question.
Right?
Yes.
If you ever see that in real life, please ask.
Yeah. Bird to the goat or coat to the bird. And then we get the Queen Cesare stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, we just learned that she's like, how old is she? 12? 13?
2? I don't know. Crazy murderer. She's like 11.
11?
Yeah.
She's
not a teen. She's not even a teenager.
Teen on a power trip, but obviously she has
tons of adults around her.
Yeah, exactly. So she is just real angry, and she's trying to murder this man. Nira's there.
Mm-hmm.
Nira is there.
Nira's there.
And Max gets recognized. Right? So he doesn't want to be recognized, but somehow he is recognized, and he's like, and then the little queen is like, Maxantaris Farlione.
No, that's old lady in Akatar. That is not the young queen.
Maxantaris Farlione.
It's better.
No, okay. And Max rose and he said, fuck.
Oh, fuck did I end up here?
Yes. That's all I got. The man dies.
Yeah, and there's blood going down the stairs. I had my little portion that says the city is literally like just cute things that they did.
Oh.
Didn't even have that.
Different than mine?
I was like, right, stuff happened. But they were super cute together.
Do you want to add any of that stuff before I move on?
No, I like the water.
Just the war quote that Tissanah says after reflecting on this like dark experience in town, she says, I was too young to know the truth then. The victory meant another's defeat and sometimes our own defeat. That winning meant sacrifices and sometimes ones that even our own people were not willing to make. That in war, somebody always paid.
Yep.
And so she's remembering this memory of like everyone, there's happiness. It's like, hey, we won. But it's also like this like awful feeling because it's like nobody really won because it's just like
everyone lost someone. Things were destroyed.
So I liked that.
Yeah.
Because I think we do get a lot of like perspectives in books where there is like a winner, a loser, good, bad guy, but she's acknowledging here that it's like, is that true?
Then we go back to the cottage.
Go back to the comfy, cozy cottage with the curtain.
And it's a super, super hot day. So Max is like, hey, let's go to the water hole for a lesson.
Yeah, do you want to have less clothes on so we can check out each other's bods?
Yeah, let's jump in the water together and make water animals and things and play in the water.
Ugh, what a cute date idea.
So cute. I'm just gonna stare at each other.
Yeah.
I love it. You also have what I have where I'm just like the best part.
Yeah. Where do you want to start?
I was like, we both have start. Oh. Then he so they're in the water.
They're in the water, yes.
Then he flattened his hands at the glassy surface. At first there was nothing. Then bubbles started to rise around him, faster and faster, like the water was leaping to a boil. Or a particular childish image popped into my head and refused to leave. I couldn't help myself. I pinched my nose. Max, I breathed aghast. In Thrall, it's very rude to do that in front of others. For a moment, Max just looked confused. Then realization swept over his face and his mouth flattened to a very tense, very straight line.
Tissanah, ascended help me. Was that a fart joke?
I just stood there pinching my nose, grinning. It's so cute and it's so funny, and I love how childish it is.
I like the last part of this quote where it's like, Max's mouth twitched, first the left side, then the right, and then all at once he burst into wild, unrestrained laughter. I realized then that I had never heard him laugh before, at least not in a way that wasn't some biting chuckle or sarcastic scoff. I admitted to myself, get used to it.
Guys.
So cute.
I love it. What a good... That's actually... It was just so funny.
Yeah, he's coming out of his shell.
Yeah.
I like it. I love it.
Mm-hmm. And I do love they finally start to like open up a bit to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And they're talking and he is telling her more and more. And they hit a part where she wants to ask more and knows that there's more that he's not saying. But she doesn't push him. She just stops where he wants to. And she kind of just makes reference to that and like being like aware of being in like a similar situation where she's had that same feeling where you can't continue to tell it, and just like not pushing him, which I think is nice.
Yeah, here's what I'm willing to tell you, and then sensing his limit.
Yeah. And just just listening, which I loved. There's also a part where he kind of teaches her about how to like control her mind and like letting people in, and she kind of says like a filtering cloth. And kind of like closing like your mind to like imagine it. And I always remember someone saying like when you have like big social things or something, like it can be like a lot on you, and like you just picture like a bubble around you. You bring your like bubble in. So I feel like I do that like if I'm going like with weddings and stuff. And I feel like it's almost helpful. Just kind of picture it so you're not like taking on so much, like empathic or something. I don't know.
Yeah, if your imaginary bubble to keep the energies out.
Yeah. When you're going to be in like a very large group situation.
Yeah.
Which I find helpful. But yeah, the filtering cloth kind of just reminded me of that.
You want to talk about the scars?
Just, yeah. Do you want to?
I didn't even think to be self-conscious until I turned around to see Max standing completely still in the water. He looked like he wasn't even breathing, his searing gaze hurling an arrow through my chest, the intensity of it paralyzing me. What? I wanted to ask, but the force of his stare was so strong that the question died before it left my lips.
I hope that whoever did that to you died a terrible, painful death.
He said at last, words hissing like steam.
And I hope that if there is an underworld, they suffer there forever. Same, Max.
Yes.
Yes, they did.
Yes. And that's just like, you're like, him being defensive of her, but also him learning more and more about her, where she comes from, and seeing her as like a complex human being, not just a student thrust upon him.
Yeah. Which, yeah, I think so. Even like when he like first found out that she was a slave, and he's like, oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Like just right away, you obviously know that he was just like, no.
Yeah.
And then pretty much, yes, what you just said.
Yeah, and he's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I just do enjoy when they went back up to the cabin after this. And it said, that night I sat in front of the fireplace, looked over my notes from our lesson with my legs crossed in front of me. Max slumped in one of the armchairs, a book in his hands, and a pair of reading glasses perched over his nose. This is all I want in life. It's this garden.
Yes.
And Max in a chair.
Yeah, and this man who just wants to be a little bit of an old man.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, it just sounds so wonderful.
The battle... Nira asks her and Max to assist with the battle. So we get this little, like, more info about the war, which I think are, like, our understanding of it is still going to evolve, right? But at this point, we know that Lord Savoy, who the queen had just killed, her son is in Tarn, refusing to abdicate power, Nira says, even though his family has been removed from leadership. So that is what they're going in there for. Max notes how the order is moving towards no longer being politically neutral. So he says that kind of sarcastically, like, oh, you're making political moves now. I thought the order was supposed to be something different. But they're gonna go there and basically like show force and make Lord Savoy's son turn over leadership. And so it's supposed to be something that isn't violent that
Yeah, it's
turns
not
into
supposed to be a
something
big
very
thing.
violent.
Yeah.
Right?
And Max goes with her, even though he doesn't have to.
Yes, and Tissanah tries to make a deal with Nira for Zareth Eldris to bring back Sorel from Thrall.
Yes.
So hopefully that happens.
Yes, and I do also like the reference that when Max says, like, he'll go, and he's like, don't be ridiculous, I didn't graduate from the Zareth Eldris School of Shitty Friendship. Which was just a really great line. I think we're just kind of getting more from who that is, and that kind of just reference to like his friendship with Samarin in that conversation.
Exactly.
Just like, no, you don't treat people like that.
Yeah, this is what friends do.
Yeah. And like, I'm coming with you, and he somehow trains her in 5 hours, and she sounds amazing.
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, I just like how he's like, blades up, Tissanah. And she's like, I would have laughed if I could catch my breath. My little daggers felt ridiculous in a battle like this. I feel like I just pictured her with like 2 little butter knives.
Yeah.
Like, watch out, guys.
Yeah, it did feel very much like she was like, should you be there?
Right? I was like, why do you even have her there?
You're not a warrior.
Yeah. Like, you're technically like an 11-year-old. He does let her into his mind, though. And then that whole part confused me. I was really confused what was going on. And I've read it 5 times, and I still don't really understand.
Jamie, don't ask me to explain it to you, because I can't.
No.
But, yeah, and that's kind of why I skipped it. I was just like, somehow she was able to get, she could see that he had the power, and then
yes, that part I kind of understood, but then the ending, I'm like, are they physically all in the same room, or were they like mentally in the same room?
Oh, I assumed they all followed. Like, once where they were able to get into the building, they all followed to the top of the tower, and then Nira finished them all off, and then Max and Tissanah were just present and had to suffer Nira's power.
Oh, okay.
Which we don't understand until the next chapter that we're not covering today.
Yes.
That, like, exactly what that was.
Yeah, okay.
All we know was, like, it's darkness and Tissanah is, like, panicking.
Yeah,
and
it sounds
in terror.
awful. Yeah.
And that's how we end.
Yeah, it was awful and confusing.
Yay!
And we got to see Samarin use his power.
Oh, yeah, he's a healer, but then he's able to make dead bodies walk, so it's still a good time.
Yeah, kind of weird, kind of gross, but it's great.
Okay.
Casting call, Daughter of No Worlds.
Our first casting call for Daughter of No World.
Oh.
Sorry.
That's an interesting sound choice.
Yeah, I wasn't totally sure what
it went
that
into 2 different
like.
ones there.
I know. Okay. Like we do in series, we're going to break up the casting so we're not doing all the good ones at once. We learned our lesson when, back in the day we did ACOTAR and we tried to do all the castings.
Yeah.
In one episode, because we're like, okay, every person that we encounter in these chapters we're going to cast, but, like, that doesn't really work.
No. We're like, who can we cast in the next one?
Yeah, so we're not doing that. We're going to break it up a little bit. And so today we have Tissanah, and we have Sorel, and we have Ismaris.
Yep.
Ismaris.
Okay.
Tissanah.
Do you want to do her last?
Okay, let's do her last.
Yeah.
No, you're right. Okay, let's do Ismaris first.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did Wes Bentley.
Who's that?
I can't. I feel like he's in things.
Oh, things.
Yeah, he's an actor.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Things are good.
I was like trying to think of like what I know. He's in so many things. Yellowstone, American Beauty, Hunger Games.
Oh my.
Interstellar.
Oh, those are all good credits. I don't know who he is though.
No, you do. Hang on.
I'm sure I do. Of course.
Right?
Yeah, that's a really good one. Yeah, no, I know. Yeah. Mine is Danny Pino he was, used to be on Law and Order SVU.
Oh, is he? Yes, I love him so much.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna be the bad guy?
Yeah, because he's gonna have his little ponytail and he's gonna be mean.
He
but also, like...
that. Oh, I love him.
He could manipulate you.
Yes, he could. He could manipulate me.
All day.
All day. I am a huge fan.
Okay. You're Cyril.
I'm trying to find a good picture of him. I have Jeremy Sumpter.
Who's Jeremy Sumpter?
He was Peter Pan. And he's just like random stuff, but for some reason, like I was like, no, you look exactly like what I'm.
Oh, I've seen that Peter Pan.
Right?
Yeah.
And he was also, I watched.
I love that for him.
Right?
Yeah.
And obviously, like, he's an older person now.
Yeah.
And I feel like around the age where that would also work, but I just feel like he's like that sweet, nice face.
Okay, he looks a lot like the person I picked.
Oh, that's exciting.
I picked Scott Eastwood.
That was my second choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
they
we're on the
both
same
have
page.
that, like, that.
Yeah, like blonde, Scandinavian pinched face.
Yes. Also, I watched, he was like a child in this movie. It's called Frailty.
Uh-huh.
Really good. Older movie. Just saying.
Never seen it.
Yep. I saw a thing on TikTok and it was like top 10 movies with like big twists at the end. And I wrote some of them down. So I randomly watched a few in like the last few months. That was one of them.
What was the twist?
Can't tell you.
Okay.
And then, it was Matthew McConaughey's in it when he's younger. And that's what also made me go to it because I just did his thing. Anyways.
Tissanah. This is a very difficult one.
It's so difficult. I also did take in like her personality.
Yeah.
And I picked Florence Pugh.
Yep.
And I can also picture her when she does like her Black Widow and stuff. She does this Russian accent. And that's kind of how I pictured. And I was like,
she is a great personality pick. I agree.
Yeah. Because she's very good at being like serious and still comedic.
Yes. Totally.
And she's still like tough. But she's also, obviously, Tissanah's, even the cover, portrayed like very blonde.
Yeah, it's hard
to
it's hard to cast it though, because it's like her people are like albino people, but Tissanah is fragmented, so she also has like darker skin showing.
Yes.
And so it's like she could be,
that's what even like with other,
anybody could play her.
Yeah. Like, oh yeah, absolutely. Well, I have like other ones and it is like there's not really like a race almost.
Yeah, no.
Because you don't have that information really. Yeah, I just felt like her Florence Pugh's personality suited.
Yeah.
And that was the only one I could think of that I was like, okay, I like her for that. And then I was like, I don't want her to be like too. It was a very hard choice, I feel like, for her.
I feel like this one is like an impossible one. It does feel similar to trying to cast Rip from Plated Prisoner. It's just like, it feels like no one is quite exactly.
Yeah.
I was not imagining someone while I was reading it. Like, this is so difficult. I just like picked someone who was good enough.
Yeah.
Mine's not that deep. I just like, yeah, I was like, oh yeah.
She's cute.
No, but like also like good actress. I picked Olivia Cooke, and she's in like House of Dragon. She's in Bates Motel. So like the newer Game of Thrones series.
Christine, I do not. You know I don't watch that.
I'm so sorry.
It means nothing to me. Olivia Cooke. Oh, she kind of looks familiar. Well, she looks fun. Her pictures look fun. Oh, she was in Ready Player One.
I don't know.
Great movie. Oh, and Sound of Metal. Have you ever seen Sound of Metal?
No.
That's a very good movie. And it has one of my boyfriends in it. Riz Ahmed. Yeah, I like her.
Okay.
Good choice. Yeah.
MVP? Who is the MVP of the episode?
I mean, Tissanah. She didn't die. She dragged her body across a continent or something.
Oh, she escaped slavery. She killed her slaver. She got whipped and traveled millions of miles and survived. That's it. That's it.
That's it, yeah. She deserves it.
Yeah, she was mine too. I was like, you can't escape slavery and then just be like, I give it to the hummingbird. Right?
What's her name again? Yeah, her. Oh, shout out to Willa. I enjoyed Willa.
I don't trust her.
Yeah, she's a fun character.
No, she's a sheep.
Oh, okay. Aggressive.
She just comes there and she just takes her blood and she's like, no, it's fine, Tissanah. I don't believe you, Willa.
Oh.
You stupid bitch.
How dare you? Okay. I mean,
Anyway.
I'm rereading this and I forget lots of things also.
I'm not saying she does anything evil. I just think she's a sheep.
Oh, that's. Do you want to go write that on Facebook? Let everybody know. Willa from Daughter of No Worlds is a sheep.
Jamie. I'm gonna finish this podcast and I'm gonna go back to Facebook for the rest of the night. I'm not gonna sleep. If you're still here,
Hi.
please follow us on social media. We are on TikTok, we are on Instagram, and we are there a lot. So if you want to hang out, wherever you're listening to us, please follow, give us 5 stars, give us a comment. Everything that you do is incredibly helpful for us, and we greatly appreciate it, and we love you so much, and we miss you so much, and bye.
Bye.
Good night, everyone. I love you, man.